Have you ever noticed the way a man's hands seem to have a mind of their own when he's truly drawn to you? The way his fingertips trace lightly, almost reverently, as if he's reading a story written only for him across your skin. Most women mistake that moment for pure desire, a simple act of attraction. But here's the truth most never realize for men that touches communication. It's the language of curiosity, connection, and emotion, all wrapped inside a single unspoken gesture. When his fingers explore, he's not just seeking pleasure, he's seeking understanding. He's trying to learn who you are beyond the words, beyond the surface, through the soft, honest reactions that only touch can reveal. Men don't often speak about this because they're not always conscious of it. But on some level, he's searching for feedback, for presence, to know if you're there with him in that moment, to feel if you trust him. It's less about control, more about closeness. Every tiny reaction, a breath, a shiver, the way you lean in, tells him something powerful about how you feel with him. And when a man senses that trust, that silent permission, it transforms everything. The touch becomes slower, his breathing deepens, the moment turns from something physical into something intimate, where time almost pauses and all that exists is connection. You see, most women think men crave only the thrill, but what they actually crave is the feedback loop of desire and emotion. They want to feel wanted too. To know that what they're doing is not just arousing but meaningful, that it's creating a moment you'll both remember, not because of what happened, but because of what you felt. That's the part he chases without even realizing it. The validation of being enough for you, of creating something real. So the next time you feel his hand tracing along your skin, pause before assuming it's only about the physical. Because in that quiet, sensual moment, something deeper is unfolding. His touch is saying everything he doesn't know how to say out loud. I want to understand you. I want to make you feel safe, desired, alive. And that is the hidden reason men love exploring intimacy this way. Most men are not fluent in the language of emotion. They can tell you about their goals, their struggles, maybe even their fears if you're close enough. But when it comes to expressing something deeper, words start to fail them. That's why for many men, touch becomes their truest form of communication. It's not that they don't care to express how they feel, it's that they've been taught that emotion is risky, that vulnerability can be misunderstood. So instead of saying, I need you, or you make me feel safe, a man's hand will find yours. His fingers will trace your shoulder, your waist, your back. And in those subtle gestures, he's saying everything he can't put into words. When a man reaches for you in that quiet, instinctive way, it's not just physical attraction at play. It's his way of feeling close without needing to explain why. It's how he grounds himself in connection. He might not even realize it, but that moment of touch, skin meeting skin, is how he feels your energy. It's his emotional barometer. Through it, he senses your comfort, your openness, your warmth. And for a man, that is everything, because while men often crave physical closeness, what they're really chasing is emotional reassurance. They want to know that their presence matters. You're not just allowing their touch, you're responding to it. Think about it. When a man wraps his arm around you or brushes your hair aside, it's not random. It's instinctive. It's the body's way of saying, I'm here with you. I see you. And if you've ever felt that deep, still calm when someone touches you gently, when everything inside you softens, that's what he's craving to. That emotional exhale, that mutual surrender where both of you stop overthinking and simply feel. And that's why his touch matters so much more than you think. It's not just desire, it's connection through presence. When he runs his fingers along your skin, what he's really doing is tuning into your emotional frequency. He's reading your signals. Are you relaxed? Are you tense? Are you letting him in, or are you holding back? To him, that's communication. It's how he learns your emotional rhythm without needing a single word. But here's the twist most women don't realize. When you respond with softness, when you let that touch linger, when you meet it with presence, it tells him something profound. It tells him he's safe too. It tells him that his affection is welcome, that he doesn't have to perform or pretend. In that space, the dynamic shifts. He's no longer the one pursuing. You're both meeting in a moment of mutual vulnerability. You see, men crave emotional safety just as much as women do, but they express it differently. They don't always sit down and talk through feelings. They reach out through action, through touch, through physical nearness. That's how they build the bridge. And the more emotionally secure he feels with you, the more meaningful that touch becomes. It stops being about arousal. It becomes about affirmation, about belonging, about being seen. So when a man reaches for you, when his touch slows and softens, pause before assuming it's purely physical. Look at it for what it really is, a quiet confession. His fingertips are saying, I don't always know how to say what I feel, but this is how I show it. And when you respond, not just physically, but emotionally, you give him something rare. You give him the safety to open up more, to express more, to love more deeply. Because to him, that simple act of touch isn't about taking something from you. It's about coming closer to you. That's the beauty of male touch at its purest. It's not domination, it's devotion in disguise. A moment where he stops being the man the world expects him to be and becomes the man who simply wants to feel you, not just with his hands, but with his heart. So many women assume that when a man's hands begin to wander, it's purely about excitement, that he's chasing a physical reaction or a quick thrill. But in truth, what drives that moment isn't just passion, it's curiosity, a deep instinctive need to explore. When a man is genuinely drawn to you, his desire becomes almost scientific. He wants to understand how you respond, how you breathe, what makes you melt. It's not about control, it's about discovery. Imagine this, he's tracing a slow line along your skin, and instead of rushing, he's watching, listening not with his ears, but with his senses. Every sigh, that every shift of your body tells him a story. This is how men learn connection, because while women often connect first through conversation, men often connect through reaction, through the energy that flows back to them when they're fully present with you. That's why a man who truly cares doesn't rush. He pays attention. He's mapping not just your body, but your boundaries, your comfort, your rhythm. It's a kind of exploration that goes far beyond the physical. It's emotional data collection, if you will. He's learning how to make you feel safe, seen, and alive all at once. And here's the fascinating part. When a man is in that space of exploration, he's not thinking, how far can I go? He's thinking, how can I make her feel connected to me in this moment? Because real intimacy, the kind that leaves an imprint, comes from curiosity, not conquest. The thrill isn't in the end goal, it's in the response. The way your body language shifts, the way your eyes close for a second too long, the way your breath catches when something feels right. This is why slowing down is so powerful. The slower he moves, the more he can feel, not just physically, emotionally. And that's something most women underestimate. A man who's emotionally invested will always want to explore, not rush. Because exploration lets him linger in the mystery, in that delicious in between where anticipation and connection live side by side. That's where chemistry deepens. It's also why your feed spoken or unso matters so much. The soft sounds you make, the way you lean closer, the small signals of trust, they tell him he's in the right space. That feedback builds confidence in him, not in a macho way, but in a reassuring one. It tells him, you're doing it right, you're making me feel something. And that to a man is intoxicating, because it confirms that he's not just taking part in an act, he's creating an experience. In those moments, excitement transforms into exploration, and exploration transforms into connection. It's no longer about what he's doing, it's about what you're both discovering together. And when he senses that shared energy, that mutual curiosity, his attraction deepens. You become not just someone he desires, but someone he's drawn to, someone whose emotions, reactions, and presence he wants to keep exploring again and again. The truth is, men may chase excitement at first, but they stay for exploration, because excitement fades once it's satisfied. Exploration, on the other hand, renews itself with every new reaction, every deeper layer of emotional intimacy uncovered. So the next time you find yourself in that quiet, tender moment, remember, what feels like simple passion is actually something much more meaningful. He's not just trying to touch you, he's trying to understand you. He's studying the art of you, your rhythm, your vulnerability, your trust. And when a man reaches that level of curiosity, he's no longer looking for a thrill, he's looking for connection. He's saying, without words, show me who you are. Let me learn how to make you feel safe, seen, and desired. That's what real exploration looks like. It's not a race to the finish, it's an invitation to go deeper together. When a man truly begins to open himself to you, he's doing something far more delicate than most people realize. Behind every confident gesture and playful grin is a quiet question: am I safe here? Emotional safety is the hidden currency of intimacy. and touch becomes the way he measures it. For men, vulnerability isn't always expressed in long conversations or heart-to-heart confessions. Many of them have been taught to hold their feelings in, to stay strong, to never let emotions show too easily. So when he reaches for you, when his hand finds its way to your skin, it's not always an act of lust. It's a soft test, a wordless way of asking, "Can I let my guard down with you?" The way you respond in that instant tells him everything. If you stiffen, pull away, or carry tension in your body, Eve reads it immediately, even if you never say a word. If, on the other hand, you meet him with warmth, if your energy softens, if you stay present, he feels something profound, permission to relax, permission to stop performing. That's when a man's entire demeanor changes. His breathing slows, his shoulders drop, his touch becomes gentler, more patient. He stops trying to impress you and starts connecting with you, because now he knows this isn't a battlefield, it's a safe place. You see, emotional safety is the foundation of genuine intimacy. It's what turns chemistry into connection. When a man feels safe, his body language transforms from taking to giving. His touch becomes less about what do I get and more about how do I make her feel. It's in those moments that the deeper parts of him, his tenderness, his empathy, his affection come to the surface. This is why so many women notice that the most passionate experiences happen when there's trust, when both people stop trying to prove anything and simply feel, because in that moment, his hands aren't searching for conquest, they're searching for reassurance. He wants to feel that you trust him enough to let go. And paradoxically, that very trust is what allows him to let go too. Think of it like this: a man's body listens for cues. If he feels judged, he tenses. If he senses rejection, he retreats. But if he senses openness, soft breathing, gentle touch, calm energy, it signals to him that this is a safe environment to be vulnerable. That's when he stops protecting himself and starts showing himself. And that's the version of him most women crave but rarely see, the version that feels deeply, that wants to nurture as much as he desires. But he can only access that side when emotional safety is present. Without it, he's just performing. With it, he's connecting. The beauty here is that you don't have to say anything to create that space. It's in your energy, your patience, your responsiveness. When he feels accepted, not pressured or judged, his entire nervous system settles. That's when the emotional intimacy deepens, when eye contact lingers a little longer, when his words become softer and more sincere. So the next time you notice his touch slowing down, remember he's not just feeling your body, he's feeling your response. He's reading whether this moment is emotionally safe enough for him to be real. Because when a man feels truly safe, that's when the walls fall. That's when intimacy stops being about action and starts being about emotion. That's when he allows himself to care, not just in theory, but in touch, in presence. In the quiet way, he holds you a little closer than before. Emotional safety isn't a phrase he'll use, but it's the very thing he's searching for in every gesture. When he finds it in you, everything changes. You can always feel the difference between a man who's truly there with you and one who's simply going through the motions. When a man is present, everything about him slows down. His breathing, his touch, even the way his eyes move across your face, it all becomes intentional. He's not rushing toward a goal or trying to impress you. He's tuned in. Every sense is awake, every movement guided by awareness. His touch becomes a language, one that speaks softly but deeply. And in that stillness, you can feel him not just physically, but emotionally. There's something magnetic about a man who touches you with full attention. It's not what he does, it's how he does it. When he's distracted, his touch feels mechanical, hollow, like his mind is somewhere else. But when he's grounded, when his focus is entirely on you, his touch becomes electric. Not because it's forceful, but because it's honest. You can sense that he's not performing or guessing, he's listening. He's reading your energy, noticing every small response, every shift in your breathing, every quiet reaction that tells him how present you are too. That's what makes it powerful. It's not about intensity, it's about awareness. The truth is, presence is rare. Most people are half somewhere else, lost in thoughts, distracted by the next moment, rushing toward a destination instead of savoring the one they're in. But when a man brings his whole attention to you, it creates a kind of intimacy that words can't match. His touch becomes an anchor, a way of saying, I'm here right now with you. It's in that presence that trust begins to deepen. You stop worrying about what he's thinking or what's coming next because you can feel that he's not anywhere else but here. And that kind of focus feels safe. It makes you breathe easier. It makes your guard fall away without even realizing it. His presence also reflects his inner world. A man who's anxious or uncertain will touch in a way that feels rushed or uneven. A man who's grounded, confident, and calm will touch differently, slower, steadier, with a quiet assurance that draws you in. That's because presence doesn't start with touch, it starts with stillness. It's about whether he's comfortable enough within himself to slow down, to feel, to be completely in the moment. When he is, his energy becomes steady, and that steadiness invites you to relax. Your body starts to mirror his calm. You breathe together without trying. You move in sync without thinking. And suddenly, it's not about the act anymore, it's about connection. What most people miss is that presence is the ultimate sign of respect. It says, you matter enough for me to give you my full attention. It's not about taking, it's about giving. Giving patience, giving focus, giving energy. That's what turns touch into chemistry. It's not the act itself that creates attraction, it's the meaning behind it. Because you can feel when someone's mind is elsewhere, you can feel when they're performing, when they're waiting for the next step. But you can also feel when someone is completely with you, absorbed in you, learning you through every movement. That's what creates the spark that lingers long after. So when a man's hands move with that kind of intention, when he's not just touching but feeling you, he's revealing something about himself. His presence says, I'm not here to rush or take. I'm here to experience this with you. That's when intimacy transforms from an act into an exchange, from motion into meaning. Because in the end, presence isn't about what he does. It's about how deeply he's with you while he does it. And that, more than anything else, is what makes you feel truly desired. Here's something that might surprise you. When a man slides his fingers down there, more often than not, what he's craving isn't just the physical pleasure or the reaction it sparks, it's the connection. It's his way of saying, I want to feel you, I want to understand you, I want to be part of this moment with you. And that's the part most women don't realize, because on the surface it looks physical, it looks like pure desire, but underneath that, in the subtle pauses, in the way he watches your breath, the way he slows down when you close your eyes, there's something deeper happening. It's emotional intimacy disguised as touch. It's him entering your world through the only language that truly exists in moments like that, the language of feeling. Men aren't always great at expressing emotions with words. Society rarely teaches them how to say, I want to feel close to you, I want to make you feel safe. I want to know that I can please you. So instead, they show it through touch, through presence, through the rhythm of how they move with you. And when his fingers trace that line, it's not just about excitement. It's about exploring you, yes, but also about discovering himself in how you respond. Because to a man who truly cares, your response isn't just sexy, it's affirmation. It tells him, I trust you. And that trust, that's intoxicating. It makes him want to stay longer, go slower, learn more. It's not dominance, it's devotion. It's a kind of surrender, not just yours, but his too. He's surrendering to the connection, to the idea that in that moment, nothing else exists but you and him. And women often underestimate how powerful that is for men. Because men are constantly chasing validation in the outside world through success, work, competition, performance. But in an intimate moment, the validation they crave isn't about ego. It's about emotional acceptance. It's about being seen, not as strong or in control or perfect, but as human. When he touches you, he's not just touching your skin, he's touching your story. Every insecurity you've ever had about your body, every wall you've built around your heart, every quiet wish to be loved, without judgment. And when you let him in, when you stop performing and start feeling, something changes. The energy shifts from what he's doing to what you're sharing. And that's the kind of intimacy that can't be faked. That's why I always say, true attraction isn't built on technique, it's built on presence. A man who truly loves you doesn't need to be taught where to touch. He learns it naturally by paying attention to you, by listening, not with his ears, but with his fingertips, with his breath, with the pauses between moments. So the next time you find yourself in that kind of moment, I want you to remember something powerful. He's not just trying to make you feel good. He's trying to connect with the part of you that makes him feel alive. It's not about lust, it's about belonging, about being part of a moment that's real unguarded, and raw. Because intimacy, the kind that leaves you thinking about it long after, doesn't come from doing more. It comes from being present, from slowing down, from letting the walls drop, from realizing that sometimes the most seductive thing isn't the touch itself, it's the silence in between. When two people finally stop pretending and start feeling, that's the secret few talk about. Men crave connection just as deeply as women do. They just express it differently. And when you realize that his touch is actually his way of saying, I'm here with you, that's when everything changes. That's when desire turns into devotion. That's when intimacy becomes unforgettable. So let me ask you something. The next time he touches you like that, will you let yourself feel it, really feel it? Not just the surface, not just the motion, but the meaning behind it. Because when you start seeing his touch as a bridge to connection, not just pleasure, something magical happens. You stop performing and start experiencing. And that's where real chemistry lies. Not in what he does, but in what you both feel together. If this opened your eyes or made you see intimacy in a new way, I want you to drop it in the comments below. Tell me, what does connection mean to you in a relationship? Is it physical, emotional, or something deeper? I read every single one, and your stories inspire new topics every week. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on that little bell, because in the next video, we're diving into why men crave eye contact during intimacy, the hidden meaning behind that look. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until then, remember this. Sensuality isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's not about how you look, it's about how you connect. So go out there, embrace your confidence, own your energy, and let him feel the woman who doesn't just receive touch, she inspires it. You deserve it, that kind of connection.